So in this video, I'm going to play another short video for you I found online that does a great job of introducing this system of agriculture that's going to become known as sharecropping. Sharecropping is the system that happened after, unfortunately, these African Americans were kicked off of the land that was originally given to them. They were promised this land, and then it was literally taken out from them under their feet. They were forced by the army off of it. And these major giant pieces of land, these plantations, were given back to the exact same people who had owned them before the Civil War. In some cases, the literal exact people who had owned these people before, your former master, is now the person you have to get a job from. So we are going to watch this short video here to get a good explanation of kind of like, well, what was this system of sharecropping? How did it work? And this will set you up for your next reading too. So here we go.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course U.S. History, and huzzah! The Civil War is over! The slaves are free! Huzzah! That would hit me in the head? It's a very dangerous, Crash Course. So when you say don't aim at a person, that includes myself? The roller coaster only goes up from here, my friends. Huzzah! Mr. Green, what about the epic failure of Reconstruction? Oh, right. Stupid Reconstruction, always ruining everything. So after the Civil War ended, the United States had to reintegrate both a formerly slave population and a formerly rebellious population back into the country, which is a challenge that we might have met, except Abraham Lincoln was assassinated and we were left with Andrew I am the third worst president ever Johnson. I'm sorry, Abe, but you don't get to be in the show anymore. So Lincoln's whole post-war idea was to facilitate reunion and reconciliation, and Andrew Johnson's guiding Reconstruction principle was that the South never had a right to secede in the first place. Also, because he was himself a Southerner, he resented all the elites in the South who had snubbed him, and he was also a racist who didn't think that blacks should have any role in Reconstruction. Trifecta! So the South remained largely agricultural, with the same people owning the same land, and in the end, we ended up with sharecropping. Let's go to the thought bubble. The system of sharecropping replaced slavery in many places throughout the South. Landowners would provide housing to the sharecroppers. No, thought bubble, not quite that nice. There you go. Also tools and seed, and then the sharecroppers received, get this, a share of their crop, usually between a third and a half, with the price for that harvest often set by the landowner. Freed blacks got to control their work, and plantation owners got a steady workforce that couldn't easily leave because they had little opportunity to save money and make the big capital investments in like land or tools. By the late 1860s, poor white farmers were sharecropping as well. In fact, by the Great Depression, most sharecroppers were white. And while sharecropping certainly wasn't slavery, it did result in a quasi-serfdom that tied workers to land they didn't own, more or less the opposite of Jefferson's ideal of the small, independent farmer. So the Republic...
All right, we'll get to the next part of this video later in our next lessons. But overall, again, sharecropping really kind of tied people to the same land where they might have worked when they were slaves. So for a lot of people, it didn't seem that different. And you're going to next read a primary source reading from someone who was a former slave and then a sharecropper, explaining their perspective on this system. So make sure you do the reading next. And I hope this video was helpful in explaining what the system of sharecropping actually kind of was.